The clash of balls, the roar of the crowd, the thrill of victory. But what happens when the game is rigged? 10 players, a nation in shock. From rising stars to fallen heroes. This is the greatest snooker scandal ever. In a shocking turn of events, the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association, or WPBSA, has suspended 10 Chinese players from the sport. This isn't just a minor disciplinary action. Rather, lifetime bans, hefty fines, and suspensions that could end careers. It all started in August 2022. The International Betting Integrity Association, an organization that monitors betting markets for suspicious activity, raised an alert. Something wasn't right in the world of snooker betting. This alert set off alarm bells at the WPBSA, which promptly launched what would become the largest corruption investigation in the sport's history. As the investigation progressed, player after player was suspended pending its outcome. Out of the 24 Chinese players ranked in the top 130 in the world, 10 were implicated in this probe. That's nearly half of China's top talents. The scale of this scandal is unprecedented in snooker history. But what exactly were these players accused of? The charges are as serious as they come in professional sports. Match fixing, manipulating the outcome of matches for betting purposes, approaching other players to fix matches. Not content with fixing their own matches, some players allegedly tried to rope others into the scheme. Betting on snooker matches, a clear violation of the sport's integrity rules. Obstructing the investigation. Some players allegedly tried to cover their tracks once the investigation began. Failing to cooperate with the WPBSA. A serious offense in itself, as players are expected to assist in maintaining the sport's integrity. The WPBSA's investigation was meticulous, involving a detailed probe by the WPBSA Integrity Unit and Sport Radar, a company specializing in sports integrity solutions and match-fixing detection. Investigators hunched over computers, analyzing betting patterns, scrutinizing hours of match footage, and piecing together a complex web of communications between players. It was like something out of a crime thriller, but with snooker cues instead of guns. As the evidence mounted, the WPBSA had to make some tough decisions, and when the punishments were finally handed down, they sent shockwaves through the snooker world. Let's start with the harshest penalties. Liang Wenbo and Li Hang, both in their 30s and considered senior players, received lifetime bans from the sport. That's right, they will never professionally compete in snooker again. On top of that, they were each fined £43,000. But they weren't alone. 8 other players received suspensions ranging from just under 2 years to over 5 years. Among them were some of China's brightest young talents. Zhao Xintong, the 2021 UK Championship winner, was suspended for 1 year and 8 months. Yan Bingtao, who had clinched the Masters title in 2021 at the young age of 20, received a 5-year ban. These were players at the peak of their careers, with potentially bright futures ahead of them, now facing years away from the sport they love. The details of their offenses are equally shocking. Liang Wenbo, for instance, was found to have fixed or been party to fixing 5 matches between July and September 2022. But it gets worse. He also solicited, induced, or encouraged other players to fix 9 matches between July and December of the same year. It's important to note that these punishments weren't handed out lightly. The WPBSA's disciplinary process allows for appeals, and many of the suspended players received reduced sentences for early admissions of guilt and cooperation with the investigation. But how has this bombshell been received? In China, where snooker has become a beloved sport, the reaction has been a mix of shock, disappointment, and anger. On Weibo, China's Twitter-like platform, a poll of over 10,000 respondents showed that about 70% supported the punishments, deeming them appropriate given the seriousness of the offenses. Many users simply commented, "embarrassing," under news of the announcement. However, some fans argued that the punishments were too harsh compared to similar incidents in the past. They pointed to cases like the 6-month ban given to UK snooker star John Higgins in 2010. Although it's worth noting that Higgins was only found guilty of failing to report an approach to match fix, not actually fixing matches. WPBSA Chairman Jason Ferguson didn't mince words when addressing the scandal. He described the situation as heartbreaking, especially seeing young, talented players fall foul of the rules due to pressure from senior players. Ferguson emphasized the need for a pure sport, stating that the integrity of snooker is paramount for its future as a global spectator sport. The Chinese Billiards and Snooker Association also weighed in, pledging to adhere to a zero-tolerance attitude towards match fixing. They promised to strengthen the management of professional players and establish a monitoring system to prevent similar incidents in the future. But this scandal doesn't exist in isolation. Unfortunately, it's part of a broader pattern of corruption that has plagued Chinese sports in recent years. The Chinese Football League has been rocked by match-fixing scandals, with dozens of officials, players, and referees jailed or banned. The Chinese Basketball Association has also faced its share of controversies, including allegations of match-fixing and corruption. These repeated scandals have prompted the Chinese government to promise crackdowns on corruption in sports. But as this snooker scandal shows, the problem persists. So, what does this mean for the future of snooker, particularly in China? First and foremost, this scandal strikes at the heart of the sport's integrity. Snooker, like all sports, relies on the trust of its fans. When that trust is broken, it can have long-lasting effects on the sport's popularity and credibility. For Chinese players, the road ahead looks challenging. With so many top players suspended, it could take years for China to rebuild its presence at the highest levels of the sport. This could potentially slow the growth of snooker in China, a market that has been crucial for the sport's global expansion. However, it's not all doom and gloom. The WPBSA's swift and decisive action sends a strong message that match-fixing and corruption will not be tolerated. This could actually strengthen the sport's integrity in the long run. To prevent future incidents, the WPBSA is doubling down on its monitoring processes. They work closely with companies like Sportradar to track any suspicious betting activity. The Chinese Billiards and Snooker Association has also pledged to implement stricter management and monitoring systems. In snooker, as in life, it's not about how you break, it's about how you recover from a bad break to clear the table. The sport has been dealt a tough break, but with dedication, integrity, and a commitment to fair play, there's no reason why it can't come back stronger than ever. Hit that subscribe button to stay on top of all the latest snooker drama. Rack up those likes if you enjoyed the video, and break into the comments section with your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.